Welcome to Coffee Talk, you guys. What is today? April 2nd. Did anybody have any good April Fool's pranks yesterday for
No,
their
just
kids
a,
or
just
anything?
a
Did you do
YouTuber
anything
I
good?
watch. I watch this YouTuber. He comments on design stuff, and I forget it every year that on the first he goes in and says about all of the home design stuff that he loves, and it's all trash. And I'm like, and every time I get halfway into the video, and I'm like, what's wrong with him? That's that's not his style. And then I realize he got me again. He
Got
got
you
me again.
again.
Yeah.
Listen, I have a friend that used to on Facebook every year. She would either say she was pregnant or she got married because she was single. And I fell for it every year. So hopefully you guys had some fun uh times if you have kids pranking them or something. And I do want to tell you, and Jill knows this because she's in DFW as well. I have a very black, ominous cloud sitting over my house right now. So guys, if this call drops, it just means my internet went out and I apologize. We will, pick things up next week if that happens. It is like pitch black outside right now. Does not look pretty.
Pouring. It's
Is it
pouring over
pouring by
by
you?
me.
So yeah, she's west
Yes.
of me, so that it's coming from her. So it's pouring out there.
hmm And all
Okay.
my dogs went crazy. Like
Oh yeah.
right before, I'm like, what's going on? And all of a sudden the boom. And then I was like, oh, okay, that's what's going
Well, and of
on.
course, I just cleaned up my back patio and laid down a new indoor-outdoor rug last night. So of course it's raining today. All right, guys, let's Um, just review what this call is about. This is our very casual, like really no rules call. We are here to talk about our marketing ideas, any questions you might have, any campaigns that you might want to talk through. Before we get into that, though, I just wanted to remind you of a couple of things. It's going to be kind of a busy month this month, so I want to remind you of a couple of things. Next week, during this time, we have our Building Authentic Relationships call. That's a separate link. So you'll need to grab that out of the calendar on the school platform, okay? It's not the same link as this link. We are going to be deep diving into step 2 of the 5-point marketing system, and that is the follow-up. This is generally where people drop the ball. And so if you're available next week, make it a point. It'll definitely be an hour call while we go over the follow-up. And of course, we're going to have time for your questions. So if you've got any during the week, make note of those. And then the following week, I'm out of town. You guys may or may not know, my daughter is also an entrepreneur. She has her own social media business. Um, she's um, she's the one who does my social media for me. And I made her a promise. We made a goal when she started her business a year and a half ago that when she started making $10,000 or more consistently a month, that we would take our first mother-daughter trip. And so we are doing that the week of the 15th. We are going on a cruise to the Bahamas. And it's a sponsored cruise by our favorite comedian, Heather McMahon. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're expecting lots of laughs, lots of drinks, and a good time on the beach in the Bahamas. So I will be out the week of the 15th. That same week, the book comes out. My book is going to be released on the 15th or 16th around that time. So excited. And I'll be sending everybody in our community stuff um, to share about it if they want to, because guys, this book isn't just for notaries. It's for small business owners, small mobile business owners. And I know some of you have friends that are service-based business owners that could benefit from it as well. And then following that, the 23rd, during this time slot, instead of a coffee talk, we're going to be playing USP Bingo. Now, I know that sounds a little scary because everybody's always scared of sharing their USP, but reminder, this is a safe place to do that. You are not going to be judged. No one's going to critique you. We're going to use the game of bingo to help bring out the best language for your elevator pitch. So, if you need to, if you have not yet in the Marketing for Notaries classroom watched the video for how to create your elevator pitch, I strongly encourage you to do that before the 23rd and then come back of course, on the 23rd during this time slot, and we will be playing bingo, sharing our elevator pitches or USPs, Universal Selling Proposition, and just working together, playing a game to help create the best USP that you can create. How does all that sound? Lots going on in the month of April at Marketing for Notaries. All right, now it's your turn. What questions do you have about your marketing? What are you working on this spring? What's stopping you? What's blocking you? What's getting in the way? Let's talk about it. Who wants to go first? Don't everybody trip over yourselves. Jen, oh, Rochelle. The girl, the girl with the amazing pop-ins. That's you, instead of the girl with the dragon tattoo, you're the girl with the amazing pop-ins, Rochelle. What, what you got going on? What are you doing for your pop-ins?
I did my baseball stuff and I made my tissue paper.
Yes.
And I went to my first office, which was my big client, OB Public Title.
Yeah.
And it was an epic fail.
What do you mean?
I didn't know that they were in a mandatory meeting. And I walked in, I had my Mariner jersey on, Felix Hernandez, and all, hey, we're here to celebrate, opening day of baseball, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, Tiffany was sitting at my old desk, actually. And she was like, we're in a mandatory meeting. She whispered it. I'm like, oh.
Well, you could not, that's not a fail, Rochelle. You couldn't, there's no way you could have known that unless you called first. So don't feel bad about that.
I know, but it sucked the life out of me because I was all excited. And then I had my bag and I put it on, there's like a railing around the desk. And I started unloading my stuff. And her boss comes flying out of her office and she's like, we're in a mandatory meeting. Can you please wait in the lobby? And I'm like, okay. So come to find out, they had 3 complaints about me. And I don't know if that meeting was about me, but I can no longer do their signings.
Did they give you any feedback? This is the office you used to work for, right?
Yes.
And they've given you have you requested feedback on what the complaints are?
They said the complaints were, one was I was supposedly grumpy at a signing, and the other 2 were that I went too fast to the signing.
Went too fast. Okay, so what's your plan to handle that? Or are you going to? I mean, that's a business decision. Maybe you don't want to handle that since it's a previous employer too. I don't know. How do you, what are your...
Actually, SnapDocs reached out to me, and because I reached out to, they said it was a broker that was at a signing. And I'm like, okay, well, I signed a broker and I know the broker personally. So I called her. And then I'm like, hey, when I signed you, did I come across grumpy? Did I go too fast? And she was like, no, not at all. And then she, because I knew her because she worked with my father when my dad sold real estate for ERA Metropolitan. I asked her, I told her about my car accident. And she's like, hey, have you heard anything about your car accident? And I'm like, no, I haven't heard anything yet. So long story short, she called up the escrow officer from ORT and complained. They said, hey, why is your notary reaching out to me? So when SnapDocs called me, I told them that, no offense, I'm like, well, my notary coach for Marketing for Notaries has actually said, if you want real feedback, call up your clients and ask them, if you need to improve on anything. And I don't think anyone has ever done that in the state of Washington, from what I'm gathering.
Sorry.
Just like they haven't done PopIns in the state of Washington, I swear. And so I was a little taken aback.
Yeah.
SnapDocs actually said, you did nothing wrong. If anything, ORT is in error.
So that seems to be the common denominator in the story is ORT, Old Republic title. Of course, just hearing one side of the story, and there's always two, and I'm sure, everybody, other people have their opinions, but I think that it sounds like something's going on in that office that I don't know if so when you go in that office, do you stop at the reception desk
They
or
don't have one.
do you cross that line and just like go into the office because you used to be an employee there?
They don't have a receptionist.
So, okay, that's not the point I was making. So I know, let me back up and reframe this. So one of my old employers is someone that would call me into work. And I felt so comfortable in that office because I worked there for years that I wouldn't act like a visitor in the office. I acted like an old employee or, an employee coming in. So I would breach the reception area and like just walk back and go talk to the closers and stuff that I was working with on the closings. Like, hey guys, I'm here. Like I would go into their pit that they were, instead of stopping. And I know that, and that was just my level of comfort in the office. And someone said something to me like, this is a mortgage office and you're not employed here anymore. You can't be doing that. Like we have security in place for, we don't, not security, but you have to act like a contract employee now too. So I'm just wondering if maybe that is what's going on in that office, that maybe they feel like you're overextending it because you used to work there and somebody's complaining about that. Just
Yeah,
a thought.
maybe. Yeah,
Just a
maybe.
thought.
Yeah,
But
I don't know. But I
don't
do
feel
know after I left there, everyone else loved my bags. They were thrilled to get them. First
you
American
kept
loved
it
them.
going. You didn't stop. You kept
No,
going.
oh heck no.
Good for
I
you. Oh
I
my
had
God, yay.
oh no. I went
Most,
to
most people
Rainier
would have been deflated. And I hate that signing services have put this thing on us, mobile notaries, like we feel like we can't reach out and ask our customers about our service. I'm sorry that you had that experience, but getting feedback from your clients only improves what you're doing, right? It's going to improve your service and your presentation, Rochelle. So I'm so sorry that that is an experience that you had. And honestly, I would just maybe give it a few months, let everything die down, let everybody go back to their corners and take deep breaths. And, maybe in another month or two, you can re-engage with that office.
yeah, because I'm just like I was blown away. And but like I said, everyone else enjoyed my bags.
Yeah,
And
which is normally the reaction you get.
right. And I didn't even get a thank you from any of them. I got nothing. So I'm like, okay,
Let
whatever.
me let me ask you another question.
Uh-huh.
Is it jealousy that you're out doing the damn thing and making something for yourself and not being stuck in that office?
Could be.
So just some things to think about.
Yeah, it could
Um,
be.
but it sounds
But
like everybody needs a cooling off period for a few
yeah.
months. Yeah,
And what but as my friend says, as one door closes, another one opens.
of
I
course.
was at a signing yesterday and I got a phone call. And of course I can't pick it up because I'm in a signing. And I pick it up, I look at my message, and a gal wants to partner with me for she represents a builder in the Stanwood area, and he's building 100 homes. And
Congratulations.
she wants me to, I'm one of her oh, what do they call it? Lead. I'm one of her
Preferred.
signers,
Yay.
priority signers. Yeah.
Your preferred site. That's amazing. And 100 homes raking in that
100,
money.
and each signing is $100.
Nice. I love it. I love it. Congratulations. So you had kind of some extremes. You had some high highs and low lows with this round of pop-in marketing. How many offices did you hit?
See, Rainier, First American, Stewart, and then I did ORT. So 4. Oh, and then I went to the real estate company because I did that catering event for them for their class.
Mhm.
Realty One Orchid Group, and I catered their lunches for 3 days for their
Nice.
class. Yeah, I did all home cooked meals. I made taco soup, chicken Caesar salad, and PF Chang lettuce wraps and chow mein.
How cool.
And then I
Nice.
brought in bagels every morning.
How nice. Look at you. That is a
Yeah,
great
that
way
was
to think
also last
about it.
week.
Nice.
That was
Wow.
also,
You had a big marketing week. Congratulations.
yeah. And then I sprained a ligament in my right ankle. So now I'm all hobbled up.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, at least you got all the pop-in marketing done before that happened. But now I have to, it wouldn't be me if I didn't remind you, don't forget to do your follow-up
I know,
and
I
make
know.
sure,
I'm
make
gonna watch that
sure,
video.
yeah, make sure that you are getting these folks on an email list and you're at least staying in touch with them once a month so that, and that's how you get around visiting all the time, right? We can't, if I asked you guys to pop into every office once a month, you'd be doing nothing else but being a marketer, right? So step 3 of the pop-in or of the 5-point marketing system is that monthly, what I call a shout out. And it's just a monthly email for you to stay top of mind. And there's no need to do it more than once a month. You don't want to be one of those people that, sends 1,000 emails and, just people look at it and just, and we all have those people, right? They send a lot of emails, so you don't even read it anymore. You just delete. So once a month is the sweet spot for that. So you can stay top of mind and they remember you. So when they need a mobile notary, they'll reach out to you. That's very exciting. Well, I'm sorry first that you had that experience, but also congratulations on a very successful pop-in campaign this month. I guess with your sprained ankle, you're off the hook for
I know.
a couple weeks.
Oh, and I paid off the convention yesterday. So I am all good to go for Vegas.
Oh, great. Do I have your name up here? Yes. Making sure I've got everybody's name. We have over 20, there's 22% of our membership at Marketing for Notaries is going to conference. Miss Diana, are you going? Okay, so I need to get you up here because I don't think I have you up here. I don't. So you're number 19, Diana. Let me write this up here. And let me tell you why. Jen Cooper and I, sorry, I had to write that up there. Jen Cooper and I are making welcome baskets for everybody attending. And so you guys will need to stop by the Marketing for Notaries booth this year. I got a booth, and pick up your welcome basket when you get to conference. And let me just share while we are on that, and let me give you the date. May 14th is our building relationships call for May. And so I'm going to just request everybody that's going to conference, if you want to mark your calendar now, join us May 14th at this same time on the Building Authentic Relationships link, because we're going to be going through everything you need to know for conference. What kind of gown do you need to wear, or what kind of outfit do you need to wear for the gala? What do you need to bring? What food is provided? What days do you need to get lunch? We're going to go through every single day, including what we're doing for Marketing for Notaries as a group activity, which will be a really cool thing that we're doing. So anyway, all right. Who else wants to talk about their marketing stuff? Who has questions? Fire away. Anybody?
So I've been like all over the place. I actually had to just regroup in March because I was
Happened?
just everything. And then I got my tax bill, which just really like threw me off for the whole month. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
I want to
But
say something about that
I
after
almost
a second.
fell out of my seat when I opened it up.
Oh, God. Sorry.
So yeah, so I mean, like, so for me, and it's like, so I have like, I want to do LSA, and I want to do estate planning, and I want to market to hospitals, which is what I do. Like, I get an idea, and then I'm just like, I'm gonna do it all. I'm just gonna
Mhm.
do it all, right? Because that's how we go. So I said, all right, so I need to focus on two groups, and so for me, it was going back. So it's going to be estate planning and um, like assisted living and that
Okay.
type, because there's so many assisted livings around me.
Yes, there is.
And then I got a call from one of the assisted livings that I dropped cards off. And the person said, "Oh, I got your card from." I love my elderly seniors because they talk to you like you've known them
Oh,
forever and you know exactly who everybody is that they're
uh-huh.
talking about. And so I had to assume that the person she got the call from was the administrative assistant from the front desk.
Mhm.
So I had that on the schedule and I said, you know what? There are three other assisted living like within a mile of that one. So in between appointments, I said,
Mhm.
you know what? I had my bag with my chapstick in it, and I said, I'm going to drop more cards off and just, it wasn't planned, but I said, I have 30 minutes before that appointment, so I'm going to go and hit those. And
Good for you.
so I have it in my car. So if I have the opportunity, I think that's for me. And my estate planning, my ideal client is really those who don't have an office
Yes.
that they're either going to be sending their documents to their client and telling them to go find a notary or somebody to partner with, and then really marketing to that. Although I came from the loan signing world, I really feel like that's more my passion. Not to say that I would turn down an
Right.
LSA, but I feel like rather than trying to focus, there's so many signing agents. And Diana, you are from my area, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. The competition is so high, that's where I'm gonna that's my new focus. And like I said, I
And
just
I
had to
and
take
I
March to regroup.
you know what? And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think I know I've done that. I know Teresa's done it, Jen's done it. We all have those months where it's just you just have to stop and look at things. But that's the nature of marketing. Like it's constantly
Mhm.
changing. There's new things you can do. Think about new contacts you make. So it's a constant battle. But focusing, like you said, on one or two lines of business versus everything is absolutely the right frame of mind to be in, Jill. And then maybe next winter, early spring, if once you've spent a year really marketing to the assisted livings and doing all of your follow-ups, and the same with your estate planning attorneys, then maybe next year you can refocus on loans. Right now, loans are more of an uphill battle. Are we seeing a pop of business? Of course we are. It's the spring buying season. Everybody's that needs to get a new house is going to move. Just because rates are higher than they were a few years ago doesn't mean people aren't
Right,
moving houses. The volume just isn't there that has been there in years past. However, we have, so many loan signing agents out there to fill the void. So the folks that have been developing relationships, like Diana over the last several years, they're the ones that are going to get the calls first. I mean, it just makes logical sense, right?
hmm,
So yeah, don't turn away. It doesn't mean you turn away
no,
a loan job. It just means your focus on marketing for the next year is going to be, and that's where you need to set it, is a year, because that's what
right,
the lift it takes is your assisted living and estate planning attorneys. And I think the obvious choice for making a quicker connection in law is absolutely those kids coming out of law school that are working
right,
out of their house and running their business on a laptop, just like you and I.
right,
That's what we're doing, right? So we
right,
understand each other. The guy that's been doing this for 50 years, that's in a big building downtown with a big mahogany desk, probably doesn't need you, you
No.
know, or maybe just needs you in a one-off situation. But
If you can even get past the receptionist.
yeah,
Because their first thing they say is, oh, we're all notaries here. We don't need your service. Like you don't even get an opportunity to speak to that person.
you have to make the
'Cause-
opportunity. Yeah, you have to create the opportunity in that situation, just like you did, you know, in title and escrow. But
Right.
so go back in the building off, or no, let me find the exact, I can't even, my brain's not functioning this morning. What's it called? Go back in and watch in the classroom. Let me just show you here so everybody can see. So go back
And
in.
that,
This is in the on the school platform, right? This is what it looks like when you first log in. So you want to go up here to the second tab, classroom, and then you want to scroll down to what an estate planning attorney needs from a CNTDA. Have you seen this?
not that one. But I was trying to do them in order. So I'll scroll all the way down.
Scroll all the way down. There's 3 videos in here. We're going to talk about ways to market. Once you open it up, you'll see there's 3 different videos to watch. Different marketing ideas for estate planning attorneys. The second video is an interview with an estate planning attorney.
Okay.
And then the third video is where we recap the interview and talk about all the ideas and the concepts that she brought to us. So take a look at those. And when you are farming these directories for attorneys, if they allow you to search by length of service or length of time with being an attorney, you want to look for the ones that have been the attorney the least amount of time.
Right.
Does that make sense? Like a consumer
Oh,
would,
absolutely.
yeah,
Right.
a consumer would normally go in thinking like, I
The
want to
other
find,
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
attorney with the most experience, and that's not what we're looking for. That is not what we're looking for. But yeah, to your point, Jill, the only thing you really need to do in order, if you've never seen it before, is the 5-point marketing system. So these first videos here, anything else, you don't need to do them in order.
Okay.
They're just different concepts in there for you. So,
But like I said, I'm really excited to start second quarter
yes.
with all of the and and just using everything from my corporate background. I don't know why I just am not doing that. I don't know, maybe it's a mental block or whatever, but I'm like, okay, what did our salespeople do? What did they do? When we went
Yeah.
on cold calling or sales calls, what did we do? And just
Yes.
kind of coming back in with that. So,
Yeah. That's part of the process. I think it takes time to get comfortable marketing your business on your own, even if you have sales experience.
it's a whole different game.
It's a whole different game when it's your own business. And I think that, it's part of that W-2 versus 1099 mentality too. Like there's just a different edge to it, is the only word I can think to use. But yes, definitely, once you're getting more comfortable with your marketing, think about the things in your past and lean into that and the lessons you've learned, because we're all so much more than just notaries. We've all done things
Right.
outside of this field that can lend to our experience and our relationship building. So who wants to share their Q1 wins? If we don't have any other marketing questions, of course, I'm here for that, but I had made this post and we didn't get a ton of reaction. Well, that's not true. We did get a lot, but who's got some Q1 wins? Coop, what you got?
I had a really great, successful ChatGPT for Notaries workshop that
Yes, you did.
blew my mind. Yeah, it was fantastic. The response was amazing. The reviews have been amazing. And so I have now launched 3 more ChatGPT workshops for notaries, all with the same benefits, 100 ChatGPT prompts, 50% off the course, the whole thing. But I've also launched out to 4 business ChatGPT for businesses. So I've been working on promoting that with chamber offices. up and down the state of California.
Congratulations. That's an important class. And I will tell you guys, was anybody not on the call that Jen hosted on the 22nd? If you are worried, that's okay. If you're thinking about AI at all, if you have any level of intimidation about AI and incorporating it into your business, you need to take this class. It is well worth it. It's one of those classes that when you're done, you think to yourself, I would have paid double for that. But it really does help you incorporate AI into your business in a logical, non-technical. She's talking to us like we are kindergartners with crayons, because that's what we need with this, because AI is so confusing, but this will help you. She's put the link in the chat. She's hosting a free workshop again about it. So if you guys want to get signed up for it, 3 different workshops. I encourage you, check it out. The free workshop.
All the dates are on that page. You guys can register just with your email for any of those 3 dates, and then you will have links sent to you as we get closer, and reminders as we get closer to the workshop.
Okay, I just remembered. Thank you for sharing that, Jen. And I know this class is going to be a huge success. It's so dang helpful. So I'm really excited for what you've done. It's going to change a lot of it's going to change the way we do business and save us so much time. I can't imagine life without ChatGPT now. So I want to just say one thing about what Jill was talking about. She got her tax bill and was kind of gobsmacked, she said. And I want to share a bit of advice that Laura Bewer gave me that I incorporated 2 years ago and has been a game changer. Anytime I get paid money for anything I'm doing, whether it's a signing, whether it's membership, whether it's a class or something like that, I take 15% of that, even if it's like I'm selling a $28 class to, outside of our group. You guys get all my classes for free, but if I'm selling it outside, I take 15% of that money and I put it in a high yield savings account. So when my tax bill comes at the end of the year, I don't, because I happened to me once too, Jill. I was like, shit, I've got a huge tax bill to pay. What am I gonna do? So I learned that lesson the hard way, but stick 15%, 15 to 20%, depending on your tax bracket. Look at your spouse or partner or other income that you have. So know what tax bracket you fall into. 15 to 20% of your income, throw it in that high yield savings every time you get paid. So when the tax man comes a knocking, it's not going to come out of your profit. Okay, so just some advice that has helped me tremendously. And if you are looking for I will just tell you, my high yield savings account that I use is through Everbank. EVERBANK, Everbank. It's an online bank, and I love their service and ease of use. But I encourage you to Google them, go to NerdWallet, look at the different high yield savings accounts and compare and find one that works for you. But it's an easy transfer. Every time I get paid automatically 15% goes into that high yield savings. So that while it's sitting there, it's earning me more than just a regular savings account. I'm making money on my money. That's why. Okay. What else do we have today, guys? Anything that we need to chat about before we wrap up? What you got, Diana? There she is. Hi.
Hi, my first meeting.
I'm so glad you're here. Well, I was wondering if you were going, so I'm so glad I was able to put you on the list. Make sure we have a bag for you.
We spent a lot of time this last year traveling, and but I have been working. But I have 2 things going on. I volunteered through the NNA ambassador thing.
Yes, you do.
nobody wanted to take on a new person that inquired. They happen to be from Texas. They're in South. I have been mentoring somebody by email, and I guess she saw me on TNT too, which is really funny because I haven't been plugging in lately.
Traveling, yeah.
And so she called me, but I was like really shocked. I attended the required meeting for the NNA thingy that I had to do every month. And she sent in a letter bragging on me. And she's like, I guess she was like, it's like the feedback. I'm really surprised nobody shares, nobody just answers a question. It's like, I can't tell you. I don't want you to, I don't I get knocked down because I don't feel like I'm supposed to hide. I just say, well, this is what you're supposed to do because if you do this, you're going to get in the doghouse. I mean, that's how I feel. And I read the letter at the meeting, and I mean, I must have turned 8 shades of red.
So
And so
sweet.
she is connecting even stronger and whatnot. And so with loans, I mean, they're starting to pop up over here, but that's not what I'm doing. I'm doing a lot of buyer seller, but
Mhm.
and I'm going behind a couple of people that are not being careful. And
Mm.
so I'm taking those with they you might think it's a low ball fee. I don't walk out the door without a certain dollar amount, but I'm going back in there and the air is really consistent. They're not signing and sealing the deed of trust. And it's like a one-shot thing. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And so and I really feel like it's the same person because it's the same doc, same mistake. But so I
No.
don't know. So I would say I'm thinking about trying to make a video going, it's really important to check your docs, you know,
I
but
mean,
I'm
isn't that
scared.
101? Like, yeah, I mean, in
Yeah,
every situation, check your signatures, check everything. And I even, because I'm such a chatty Cathy, when I would go into people's homes, I would either ask them to stop talking to me, or I would ask, do you mind if I move over into the kitchen or something? Or you guys, I need some quiet to
right.
review these because I get too distracted if somebody's talking to me. But yeah. So let me ask you, Diana, are they still accepting applications for ambassadors for the NNA?
They just made it official last week. I I didn't apply. I'm one of those old schoolies. I was one of the ones that they reached out to. My very first couple of conferences, I I was looking for somebody to buddy with, and
Yeah.
I get really bored, and I go to the booth and go, "Do you need a pipe? Can I help you?" I was trying to make myself useful, and I'm pretty sure I think I know who did it because a couple of them sat at the luncheon table when they pinned me. So I kind of have a suspicion of who pulled me in, but you can, if you dig in there, you can find the application. And over the years, the
Actually looking
program
for it
is
right now.
changing. It's always been a limit of 100 across the country at any given time, but they're making it more professional. You're the cream of the crop in the US.
Yeah.
And you do give some pro bono, but you can charge. I mean, Laura charges, and I'm like, David thinks I give away too many hours, so I've got to talk to Laura and go, where do you cut off, kind of thing. When do you start charging? Because I don't mind just a question here and there and stuff, and I don't mind so many hours up front, but I haven't figured it out, kind of thing. But you you serve the community, you get involved. So I started getting involved a little bit with legislation. So I've gotten to know Matt Miller really well.
Oh
And
yeah, he's great.
Laura and him and Bill, when I was like talking to him about fee schedules and getting rates raised out here, they all connected me. And then Bill Anderson, and I mean all I had to do, I kept it to myself. And when I opened up my mouth, everybody just popped up. I mean, it was like amazing. And the other thing that I was noticing is people are scared of another type of service. It's not really a loan, but the conception, there's good and bad companies, just like there's good and bad anything. But they're they think that on debt settlements they're selling something. You are not the salesman. I promise you. There's a company
Yeah,
I
I've been
work,
hearing a lot about that debt settlement and all
and
that.
I'm gonna probably write and address the issues I'm seeing,
Good.
but it's I have my favorite one. There's one that I will not ever go because of what happened. There are some that badmouth the notary and, and they don't disclose. I mean I can see why they get a bad rep, but my favorite, and it is Century 21. It is a law firm, and they
Yeah.
are very professional. They're very warm. They're like, yeah, and if you have questions or issues, they answer. But I go in there and I'm not the bad guy. It's not cold turkey for one thing, but like it's two parts. There's like a 17-page presentation. All it is reviewing what they've already talked to with the
Yeah.
attorney. And so it's just to make sure they understand what that product is. And you're
Mhm.
giving them a copy of it. And then the second part's what they call the letter of engagement. There's like you are doing notarization, but it's literally it's just like a loan. There's a contract. That's all the letter of engagement. It's explaining in detail rates, terms, conditions, what they're gonna do, what you do kind of thing. And then there's a savings account thing they set up to be able to do that thing and whatnot. And they don't even take 45 minutes. I mean, I don't have to worry about drop times. I just scan it back.
What's the pay on those that they're doing?
I'm getting an average of 65 to 75, and they've kept me really local, and they've been increasing. So I think it's because of what's going on in the market right now. So
Yeah.
I kind of feel like just like home equity loans and things, I think that's something that's going to be hot. So
Mhm.
something to consider. So that's
Yeah, something to think about. Thank you for sharing that. And
and they do train. They actually certified me last year, and they do have. And I thought they're educating you what their product is, and I thought that was hot, you know.
yeah, that's good. So I wanted to try and post a link. Um, you know what? I'll find it. I'll share it in our group community on the school platform. For those of you who might be interested in applying to be an ambassador for the National Notary Association, it's something that looks really good.
I have a ball with it. I meet so many people. When I take David to conference, I mean, there's a lot of people I meet, and I don't remember everybody. See, sometimes you have to tell me who you are, because I probably know only maybe. I tell him 100. He thinks it's more like 250, but I don't remember everybody's name. But I've had people like go, and I know her because, and he goes,
Yeah.
"Well, everybody knows you." I go, "They might know me, but I don't know them." But I don't. I'm real approachable is what I've been told. But that's what you're supposed to do. I just treat them like, oh, do you need lunch? Do you need help with something? Are Texas specific, or do you need a federal thing? But that's all it is you're just being hostess with the mostest, or you're helping mentoring in your area kind of thing. And there's education, there's legislation, there's lots of
Different
different ways
ways
that you
you
can
can get
plug in.
involved. Yeah, definitely. So I will post that later so you guys can take a look at it if you're interested, because it is definitely a worthwhile thing to be a
Yeah.
part of, even for your own business, to be able to put on your signature line that you are representative of an ambassador for the National Notary Association. Looks good to your customers as well. So I will check a little bit later today, and I'll get that
I
posted
can
for you
send
guys
you
if
the
you want to
actual
apply.
link because she sent the email to everybody last week saying that it's officially active. I'll be glad to send that to you today.
Yeah, thank you. Will you forward that to me just so I can
You
have the
bet.
link? She's got a QR code on her LinkedIn page. That's why I couldn't pull it up. But
Okay,
well,
cool.
thank you for sharing that, Diana. Um, we are going to wrap up today. Thank you guys. I'm so glad my internet didn't go out or my power didn't go out with this storm we've got coming. But I just wanted to say I hope you guys have a fabulous rest of your week. Don't forget, next week we are deep diving into the follow-up on our Building Authentic Relationships call. So that's going to be important. And if you guys need me in the meantime, you know where to find me on our school platform. Have a great week. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.